5. A couple of college football notes. Bobby Petrino. This was something that's been out there for really about maybe 2 to 3, 4 weeks. Of course, Jimbo Fisher, after the nightmare year of 2022, pretty much, hey, somebody needs to call plays and help us get hip again when it comes to, or just productive when it comes to offense. Chris Lowe had this. Jimbo Fisher finalizing a deal with Bobby Petrino to become A&M's offensive coordinator, will take over play calling duties. That, of course, has been a big deal. Petrino, one of the top offensive minds in football, briefly the offensive coordinator at UNLV after he was there at Missouri State for 3 years. He's been at Arkansas. He's been with the Falcons. He's been a lot of different places. Bobby Petrino now is Jimbo Fisher's offensive coordinator and probably needed someone like that for him to truly step away if he can. That still remains to be seen. Someone perhaps elite enough with what he does to get Jimbo to back off on what's going on.
Yeah, and he's probably got an offensive system that's in line with what Jimbo likes, so it's not like even letting him back off that would do it. My only critique of this hire is I think one of the problems that A&M had last year generally was team chemistry, and you know, you've got a coach, and this is, I'm just going by outward reputations here. You already have a coach on defense in DJ Durkin who has a horrible reputation because of what happened at Maryland. You have Steve Adazio, whose reputation is as a rage monster. And then you have Bobby Petrino, who we know is not a guy who was real trustworthy with his employers before. So Jimbo set up this kind of rogues gallery of coaches who know what they're doing X and O wise, but is that all you're looking for? Like, you're coming off a 5-7 year. Don't you need to kind of bring this thing together a little bit? That's my critique. The football knowledge of Bobby Petrino is more than I can ever even hope to know. I could work the rest of my life and not get to that point that Bobby Petrino has, but I do wonder about the whole vibe of it all when it comes to preparation and game week and game days. Recruiting's not going to suffer. Clearly it didn't before. The staff can still recruit, but will it pay off in the long run when it comes to what the team didn't have last year, which was continuity and chemistry?
Yeah, what a Hall of Fame career Petrino had at UNLV. His first things first. I mean, what a run that month that he was, just named a coordinator and never ended up doing anything. But yeah, I just hope we never hear the word culture come from Jimbo Fisher's mouth in the immediate future, or talk about good culture and things like that, because he's basically, like you say, you call it the rose guy or whatever, but I mean, I don't know what to think of this. I mean, he truly is collecting I saw somebody make a smart-ass tweet, but it's true. It's like, hey, you know what we should do? Let's go get Art Briles and have him as co-host. It's like, basically, let's get every hot lightning rod name that's been in the news for a bad reason over the last few years in college football and assemble this on the A&M staff. So, culturally, I don't love it. When you've already got a couple of questions there and you're coming off a year where clearly the culture wasn't already great to begin with, because players were basically just running around and, flying through parking lots and, worried about NIL and, ultimately the on-the-field product, I think, suffered because of that. It suffered, also because they just didn't have a very good offense. But, I'm not a Bobby Petrino fan, and I don't love this. And I think it kind of reeks of desperation on Jimbo Fisher's part. And I think it's kind of a hire that you can make where you don't totally release control of the offense, but you do have at least some freshness there. And we'll see what happens. I mean, I wouldn't love this as an Aggie fan. I wouldn't be over the moon about this hire, because if you tell me, oh, Jimbo's going to relinquish play calling duties, awesome. This is a great opportunity. You go get Bobby Petrino, you're living off of his success. I get it, but we can't. Where's the new Cliff Kingsbury at? Where's that guy? You talk about fresh new ideas. Let's get some truly fresh new ideas in here. But Bobby Petrino is a name that's been recycled a few times now, and I don't know that he's the missing link in this offense putting it all together, but maybe he is. We'll see next season, obviously. I just don't love it from a cultural standpoint and a name standpoint. I get that it's a splash, but, look, you even had – is there a bigger, and I don't want this term to come across super negatively, but I saw use a different word, a supporter than a guy, like a Billy Liucci, for example. And even he a couple weeks ago was like, no, this is just talk or whatever. And now today it's like, boom, no, it's actually true. It's happening. And I think even guys like that are kind of like, like you're happy about it, but you're also kind of like, we'll see what happens from this, and that's kind of where I am right now with it. So yeah, we'll see, but it's certainly interesting, the hire itself, and we've known this was a possibility. So now that it's finalized, we can really dive into it and see what happens.
He's got a resume, no question. He's bounced around quite a bit and has been to many, Louisville twice, obviously the NFL less than a year with the Falcons, and then with Arkansas. Then things went bad for him. Western Kentucky. So now he is the offensive coordinator, or about to be. I guess it is the offensive coordinator for Jimbo Fisher. Couple of transfer portal notes.